Dr. Shahid, if you're speaking more, we can't hear you.
Unmuted.
Islam, can you hear me now, Grand National Secretary of State? Can you hear me now, Grand National Secretary of State?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Gratitude.
Gratitude. Islamism. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Moorish America. Want to rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God, Allah, Father God, Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj, Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution, and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything that our Holy Prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to welcome you to another Moorish Perspectives. And I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imani Amohadi Shabazz El. And my ancient Comedian high name being the same as Dr. Shedwa Minti El Muhajid Shepsuel. And have a grand drawing to bring forth to our Moorish kin today. Want to apologize for the technical difficulties. You know, Rome ain't built nothing to last. We already know how it go. So Islamism, we got a grand measure that's going to be brought forth from our Father's treasure in this Moorish Perspectives. You know, very powerful drawing. We give honors for these lessons that the Prophet has given to us and brought them back to us, so to speak, after having nothing, so to speak. And that's why he said he brought us everything, because he knew that we had nothing until he brought what it was that necessary to be brought to us in order to uplift us. So, you know, it's a grand drawing to be here in this new era in time and have these lessons and the blessings to be able to uplift fallen humanity. You know, and our subject title will be dealing with, we coming from the life works of Yehoshua, you know, in Joseph's home at the age of 7 years. And the subject title is dealing with Ayat 12, which is a very powerful ayat. You know, your wand is truth. And with this, you touch the multitude, and every man becomes a messenger of holy light and life. You know, so in other words, we receive in this particular chapter some marching orders, so to speak. You know, and this goes into the aspect of letting us know what to do with the wand of truth. Now, you know, we've seen fairy tales and everything else that speaks of, you know, magical wands and, you know, people utilizing magical wands to accomplish, you know, certain feats, you know, and this in the realm of fairy tales, so to speak. But in the realm of dealing with the truth becomes your wand, you know, and in this case, it really represents you yourself. You are the wand, you the instrument. You know, your consciousness is your scimitar of divinity. And with this consciousness, you are able to touch the multitude and basically each one teach one. And everybody become messengers of holy light as a result of this. You know, so this is the whole key of gaining information and gaining knowledge. You know, a lot of people ask the question, well, how does that knowledge, you know, have anything to do with what we deal with in day-to-day life? If you can't see that lessons of self-mastery are given to you in order to aid and assist you and to make you a better individual, you know, then you burn up from the start. Now, this is Yehoshua at a very young age, 7 years of age, you know, which is the youngest that we find in, you know, the books that we deal with. They have other things too, like if I were to go into the other Bible, They talk about Yehoshua being 3 years old. But in our Moorish Holy Quran, dealing with 7 years of age, this really goes deeper than, what we understand 7 years old to be. Because the 7 really has to do more with, in this case, it has a lot to do with, his adept degree of unfoldment. You see? Because surely he being an adept, he would have to be an adept in all actuality in order to reach a people, and be able to heal a people and expose them to some truth, because carnal man, move on certain levels, and carnal man, they didn't even want to listen to Yehoshua when he was at 12. So they wasn't thinking about him being the mastermind, that he truly was, at an age younger than that. These are things to really reflect upon and contemplate upon, though. Very powerful measures if we were to pay attention to this and really get the grand drawing off of it. And all we have to do is really understand that these lessons and blessings are all about going within the self, and keep doing that, taking them within the self. And this is when you're going to get the greatest up out of these measures, if you want to know how these things can be made applicable to your condition. So, we give praises to the great God Allah for giving us the ability to be able to think and exercise our 5. You see, because there are many amongst fallen humanity that can't even do that. So that in and of itself, like I say, is a grand drawing. We have been called to demonstrate to the extent to where we reach out to the masses, and uplift the masses. That's the sole purpose of us gaining, these ensigns. See, the one is not for yourself. The one is an ensign, but it ain't for you. It's to aid and assist your fellow man. It's to bring about a grand work in aiding and assisting humanity, so thereby they too will again be able to aid and assist the rest of fallen humanity. And the more you know, the more you grow. So we are here to be taught. So we must have a mindset of being willing to be taught. We must be willing to be students. If we don't have it in us to be students, then that's going to be a problem for us, in the long run, so to speak. So, we give praises to the great God Allah that we have cognitive faculties to be able to utilize, because we have animals, and animals can't move as we move. They move off of impulse. You see, we move off of rationality. Praise be to Allah that we are able to move off of rationality and not just be misused based upon what it is we don't know. We already had people try to make us as a people like animals, and put us in a category to where we was no different than chattel property. This is something else. You see, so everything it is that we have been given is to uplift us from that state of mind to where somebody can misuse you, so to speak. So again, we're here to teach the people. We're here to uplift fallen humanity. We're not here to tear down the family of nations. So we're here to heal the nations. Yehoshua was one that was able to stir up the ethers since he was a young seed. So we reaching this age or this milestone, in our 7th year, because if you're dealing with the circle 7, we have reached this particular degree of unfoldment. We should come with more wisdom, and through that wisdom, we are able to again uplift our people and bring them up out of the condition that we may find them in. So how can this be done if it's not done by us? Who gonna do it if we don't do it, right? This is the question we always ask. If not us, then who will, right? So we are told, if we go into this special chapter here and we pay close attention to it, these are the life works of Yehoshua. So we have to ask ourselves, well, what are our life works? When we reach that 7th milestone, what is it that we are supposed to be doing? Because this is when the divine ministry starts. You see? So the key is to tap into our family so that we can activate the ministry. You see? So Yehoshua, born in the place that they call Nazareth, which is the place of the Nazarites. This was a young mastermind that not only dealt with the Vedic hymns and the Avesta, like this chapter say, but he was very much in tune with all of the wisdom, according to the records that we have. A lot of people like to talk about, he don't exist, and I done put it out there, the ossuaries of his family and all of these things here that show a proof, and that's enough. If you can show proof of the family, then he definitely had to be on the manifest. So that's neither here nor there. The main thing is, how do these stories inspire you to become greater? You see, he didn't take one part of the book or just any book, but he was demonstrating with books of true knowledge. The books of David, the books of Solomon. He was dealing with the books, of the prophecy among what they like to call the Jewish people. And listen, when he reached his 7th year, he needed not the books to read, for he had fixed in memory every word. Now they have young Hafizes who memorize the whole Holy Quran. But here's Yehoshua. He memorized books in plural. He had fixed in the memory every word. And that don't necessarily mean he went verbatim, word for word, memorizing to. It had to do more with the precepts and the concepts that were necessary to uplift the people. This was the 7th year. He didn't need the book. So let's look at this. Like we say, this transcends the concept of worldly age. This represents his 7th degree of unfoldment. Because now he had embodied the message, and he could be the message that he was to bring to the people that he was to uplift. If we go further into this drawing, there's another measure in here as well, where he had a vision. And in his vision, he stood before the sea upon a sandy beach, we are told in the chapter. And waves upon the sea was high, and the storm was raging on deep. If anybody know anything about waves, and raging waves, so to speak, in the sea, this is symbolic to turmoil. This is symbolic to strife and everything else. So it goes on, it says, someone above gave me a wand. Now we already know that this has a deeper meaning. He says someone above. We know wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life. You often hear us say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is still working from the plane of soul. You see, he was the one that passed, the scimitar of consciousness down to the chairman. And our chairman passed it to us. So, we still receiving wisdom from the prophet. He has given us a wand. You see? But have we taken that wand and demonstrated like Yehoshua and touched the sands? The sand is symbolic to people. You see? So if you touch the sand and it says every sand became a living thing, this means that if you were dealing with a group of people that had been dead, that had no life in them, they were lifeless, though being countless as the sand, multitudes being countless like the sand. Abraham was given this prophecy in the Piscean records where he was told, take a look, look at, the heavens and the earth. And, he was also given symbolic parables that dealt with the hairs upon his head. The people were being multitudes to this extent. The grains of sand is used often. So here again, just as Yehoshua was able to touch the sands, which represent the multitudes of the people, and this is after turmoil, after strife, because he himself seen these waves upon the sea that was raging high. You see? But anyway, it said that he touched the waters with his at his feet, and they would change to trees and flowers, singing birds, and everything was praising Allah. So this is basically symbolic to how truth is able to change conditions. Truth is able to change the ethers in any situation. That's if we know what the truth is and if we truly embrace the truth. It says someone spoke, and I did not see who spoke. So he heard a voice, and it says, I heard the voice which said, there is no death. So we now see the confirmation of what I was speaking of, bringing life into the manifest, because there is no death. Death is an illusion. We are told that death is not an enemy to man, but a friend as well. But there is no death, because death is an illusion. You see, from that aspect. But it says grandmother Ann loved the child, and she laid her hand on Yehoshua's head and said, I saw you stand beside the sea. I saw you touch the sand and the waves. I saw them turn to living things, and then I knew the meaning of the dream. So his grandmother was observing all of this. So she knew he was going to be a long promised son, just based on this alone. You see, you touch the waves upon the sea of life and their turmoil cease. And that's what we do with this truth. When we bring the truth on the manifest, we are able to make the peace be still, and turmoil comes to an end. If we take these things and make them practical and utilize this truth in our lives. It says the very winds became a song of praise, or become a song of praise. How many of us can just sit there and listen to the wind and enjoy the breeze and the sound of whizzing going by us and understand that there's a language in the whizzing? Also understanding that outside of the language, though we don't see these things with the eye, there are various different elements, seeds, and everything else that are being carried, right before us. So this is all symbolic to life. Seeds of life being carried by the wind, so to speak, right? It says also, there is no death, because the wand of truth can change the driest bones to living things. And we know the question, who is able to make these dry bones live again? We talked about this sand being symbolic to the people. Almost, if you compare that, that's like a valley of dry bone. It says that the truth can change the driest bones to living things and bring the loveliest flowers from stagnant ponds and turn the most discordant notes to harmony and praise. This is what truth can do. So in other words, the same way this can be done with truth, our conditions, can change as well. We just have to know that there is no death. in reality, so to speak. You live forever. Joachim said, my son, today you passed the 7th milestone of your way of life. For you are 7 years of age. So this is the importance of that number 7. Every time we go through this circle 7, cover to cover, we dealing with the truth. Man himself is the truth. Allah is the truth. So the deific will is the expression of the one in action. Because that's where your power comes from, your saving power, the great God Allah, deific type. So yeah, it said this is the 7th milestone of your way of life. What do you mean? 7th milestone of your way of life. It had everything to do with his life works. And it was said that for you are 7 years of age, and we will give you as a remembrance of this day, whatever you desire. Choose that which will afford you most delight, basically. And so Yehoshua didn't want no gift according to the chapter, as we stated. He was satisfied. He was content. He just wanted to make the multitude of the children happy, on the day, and that would please him. How many of us think like that? To where we're not looking for gifts. We may want gifts of understanding, but we're not looking for, anything on the manifest to make us happy. But we are looking forward to that which is within us to draw our happiness. Say, now there are many hungry boys and girls in Nazareth who will be pleased to eat with us and feast and share with us the pleasures of his day. See, he wasn't about eating, drinking, and being merry while everybody else was suffering, and starving. That was not the way of Yehoshua, even from an early state of mind. He took joy, in aiding and assisting his fellow man. He said, the richest gift that you can give to me is your permission to go and find those needy ones and bring them here that they may feast with us. In other words, we eat, so we want everybody else to eat too. This is what we talking about. Can't sit back and just watch them suffer. You see? But anyway, Joachim, anyway, said, "'Tis well, go out and find the needy boys and girls and bring them here. We will prepare enough for all." So Yehoshua did not wait. He ran. He entered every home, we are told, in the hunt of the town. In a little time, it says 103 score happy children, 300 children basically, were following Yehoshua on Marmion way. So he had the multitude of young seeds. He definitely came for the young and not yet born. The guests made the way, and the banquet hall was filled with Yehoshua's guests, and Yehoshua and his mother served. And there was food enough for all, and all were glad. So the birthday gift of Yehoshua was a crown of righteousness. So that's the key. A crown of righteousness. That's what we all trying to attain. You see? Not a worldly crown to be adorned before men, but a divine crown, to actually be wore as the pride of truth, so to speak. Your crown is your truth as well. So when we understand this, we understand where our saving power comes from. We really have to know what truth is, family, in order to be that. Because we are told that we are the truth, but if we don't know ourselves, then we don't know the truth. We don't know the truth, we don't know ourselves. If we don't know ourselves in the truth, we don't know the great God Allah. You see? And so this is what we are striving to demonstrate. Teach our people how to be able to bear witness to the book of creation and pay attention to the great works that are produced, by creation, without even anyone being there, so to speak, to guide these particular situations on, because the great God Allah has already deposited, within everything in creation, an ability to sustain itself. So, and if we dig deep within ourselves and we pull out the one of truth, then, we will become self-sustaining as well. Praise be to Allah. This is what we are speaking of when we deal with the life works of Yehoshua at a young age. Now, imagine if we had started out like that as well. Imagine if we had come through a culture with our own various culturistic rites or ceremonies and forms that relate to us as a people. Imagine if we was never hindered to the extent that we have become hindered by our adversaries. Imagine that. Imagine if we were able to come forth with the full, uncut truth. That's a powerful demonstration. So we give praises to the supreme reality, the great God, for these lessons. It's an honor to be able to go back into the works of our ancestors and go into ancient Kemet and see, the greatness of our ancestors, even though European scientists are still baffled today at these things. Look at Yehoshua. He went there at an early age. He was a Comitian adept master, so to speak. That means something. It meant something then. Even though now, people can care a hill of beans when you get to talking about that, because they don't comprehend the inner meaning of life. We've been dealing with chapters on that. If you don't know yourself, you're doomed to ruin. You're doomed to destruction. If you don't know yourself, you service to do anything. If you don't know yourself, you're going to be, again, misused, abused, run amok, led astray, hoodwinked, had, all that. If you don't know yourself. And like I said earlier, you don't know self, you can't love self. So this is what we're encouraging. We have to utilize our truth and touch the multitude. That's the goal. Whatever purpose that we have, that is our one of truth. Like I said before, and I'm going to keep saying it, we got to find our purpose individually as well as a collective. And once we're able to do that, then we can raise other men and women up, and they will become messengers of the holy light in life, as it is stated. That's the goal. In order for us to receive, the aid and assistance or the help that we've been looking for, we got to give out of the wisdom that we have to raise up a generation that come behind us that will be able to come forth and build upon what it is that we left to them, a legacy. So when we deal with that aspect and we understand that it's about legacy and not dealing with selfishness, this too is the grand feat, of life and unfolding into who you are truly destined to be. Every talent that we was given has been given to us so that we may be able to use it or utilize it to better humanity. That's your one. Some of us may be good orators. We can speak. Some of us may be able to sew. We can think of all types of things and different talents that we have. But nevertheless, these are your wands. We should be able to utilize the truth that we have, in order to make our people understand that they are a spirit and part of the great God. That everything around us, is illusion if you're just looking at the exterior, but When you go into the spiritual self, all is well. This is your true rest haven. This is heaven on earth, a state of mind. When we change the way that we think, then the conditions around us begin to change, because thought is the cause of it all. As a man or a woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. You see? So we have to think along the lines of being a nation. Think along the lines of being people, instead of, again, being somebody else's pushover, being misused and abused and so forth and so on. Praise be to Allah that he sent us a holy prophet that we could bear witness to. And not only did he teach us our nationality, but he also taught us our divine creed. That's why we call it a divine and national movement. And even when we get into the divinity, we ain't went crazy with no Bible thumping and trying to, beat you over the head with religiosity. So the question is, now that you have a wand, what you gonna do with it? If this is a wand of truth, then you should be able to dispel falsehood with this wand. This wand of truth, should bring you into complete illumination. That's a powerful demonstration in and of itself, right? We heard people say, you should know the truth and the truth shall set you free. No, the truth gonna make you free yourself. That's what we should have been saying. Because after you've been in a state of bondage, I'm sure that anybody that know bondage would be most definitely tired of being sick and tired. Islam, who wants to be a slave for the rest of their life? Who want to be somebody do boy, do girl for the rest of their life? Not nobody with sense, It's different when you don't have options. We have options. And so that's what we here to encourage our family with. Because most people have run away from the truth and the falsehood. So we are the ones here to bring them into the like and the likeness of the divinity that is within them. If not us again, then who? If you want freedom, you got to create conditions, that will allow you to free yourself. And this don't necessarily have to do with, all the other little forms of the freedom that we talk about when we deal with the manifest, but we're talking about just dealing with the self in general. How to free your consciousness to ascend to the greatest heights, because all of us have a potential in us where we can be masterminds. The great God Allah gave us these faculties equally. Nobody, when it comes to it, is made so much is different, to where they are the only ones that can tap into their greatness and we can't tap into ours. It don't work like that. We just have to stay the course and be as patient as possible and persevere and keep working at whatever it is that we are destined to work with to unfold. Every last one of us, I'm telling you, tap into your talent. That's your wand. Your wand is your ability to stand in the face of adversity. Your wand, is what it means to demonstrate along the lines of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Your wand places you in a position to where you can demonstrate the saving power. And that power is a power that exerts itself for the individual at the will of the use. That's what our lesson teach us then. So, what more is it that we need to know? Now it's time to do the work. Now it's time to get the job done. And we must be about the work, utilizing tools that we can use in the workshop of the mind where thought is used to build character. See, we deal with a lot of information out here, right? But one thing about it, the difference between us and other people is we deal with that information, but we also teach our people. You know, we don't just go back and forth over a bunch of information, you know, just to do it. We actually are here to teach our people. So that's why you see us coming forth with the Moorish perspectives. We learn from each other, still sharp and still, people. So, yeah, that's a powerful demonstration. So the question again, you know, what you gonna do with your wand now that you know you have one? Now that you know you have the truth, what you gonna do with it? You gonna just go into collecting a bunch of books and let them collect dust? Is that what life is spent to build? No. Last time I heard, life was spent to build a temple of perfected man. Wow. So health is to the body as honesty is to the soul. If we can find the truth within ourselves, then we can find a reason for our existence. If we don't know again what our purpose is, then we just taking up space. So this is the grand drawing, family. I want to try to go here. I had my little dictionary up here. I like to go off into this. And I wanted to show our people, because we done went over some of these definitions before. But I want to go into certain aspects that deal with the definition for the word truth. You know, and this is actually the dictionary of the Quran. Just give me a second here. Thought I had that. Let me see here. I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm just trying to pull this. Make sure I'm pulling this demonstration up. Okay. That's one of them. We go back over here. I don't know why these things get lost up in here, this information. I got a lot on here. I'm going to have to clean off my computer again. Let me see here. Not that one, not that one. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Trying to find that. I got 2 different dictionaries in here. One of them is not the actual one that I'm trying to share. I don't know. Maybe it even pushed some of them out the way. Okay, hold up. I think I got it right here. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, there we go. So let me share the screen real quick. Okay, there we go. I done wore this little pad out. I got this little touch screen pad. I ain't got a mouse. It's one of the touch screen and the pad on this computer. And I done used it so much I done wore it out. I can't even really hardly copy and paste things though, boy. I'm gonna have to maybe take it to the Geek Squad. But yeah. So there are many different words that are used in reference to dealing with the truth. But we're talking about the truth being a wand, so to speak. Trying to find it. That's one word right there, Sadiq. Sadiq, the truthful. That's a connection to one of the divine names of Allah as well. So this is an attribute. And if you utilize these attributes properly through deific will, you can will anything into the manifest, so to speak. Here it is, here's Sadaka, to be truthful, true and sincere. Now imagine this. Just being truthful and being sincere, if this represents a wand by which we are able to, touch the people, then we understand how truth and sincerity is synonymous to being that same. We can raise people up and wake people up out of the condition that, we find them in. Just like the prophet woke us up and found us and brought us out of the condition that he found us in. Confirmation is enough to exhume a nation. Confirmation of knowing that the great God Allah is present. And we learn this in most cases by what it is that we go through. Our people learn, that there is something greater if they seen you at your lowest point and then see you become uplifted. They know that the great God Allah is most definitely ever present. So yeah, this word Sadiq, it goes a long way, dealing with the truth, family. It's a long definition right here. That's one of the words. Haq is also another word for truth. So yeah, I see most of their definition dealing with truth is dealing with Sadaq, Sadiqeen, Sadiqeen. These are charities. Look at that. Dowries, gifts. So the gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah. And one of those gifts represent that wand of truth above our neck. Yeah. So yeah, you can understand that right there when you go into looking at what truth really is and understanding that the Most High himself is the truth and you yourself are the truth. So when you say you're looking for the truth, then in all actuality, you're looking for yourself. Not this lower self, the body, the flesh, but you're looking for your higher state of consciousness. You see? That's what you're trying to find. When we come into life, that's our whole purpose. We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to find the one. You see? So, yeah, they got a couple of different definitions in here. I'm trying to find the one word. You see the lisan. That's just true for the resurrection. So the other definition I was trying to go to. Right here, this is a good drawing here when it said, the people that had distorted their teachings, and had fallen into differences in the vision and divided themselves into sects and subsects, each one claiming to be on the right path and in possession of the absolute truth. You see, and this was the reason the great God Allah even sent down the Grand Quran. Just being the same reason he sent down the Moorish Holy Quran to us. We say that boldly because we know of its divinity, irregardless of what one may say or think they know. So yeah, this is powerful though. This is powerful. Look at here. And it's talking about, for example, how the Quran itself contains all those truths which were given to the ancient books and restores them in their original purity. Well, the truth does that with us. We are a book. You know, our lineage and ancient ancestry is proof of that. We a whole book. So how can we be restored to our original state of mind? We have to have somebody that has that knowledge in order to bring us back into our original way of thinking. Man, how can you know unless you have a teacher? Or did I say a wand? Look what it says. It says, this perfect book that makes the truth perspicuously clear, bear witness. Verily, we have made it a Quran and such a scripture as it brings forth nations together, or brings the nation together in the scripture eloquently expressive, so that you may make use of your understanding. Now you got to use your understanding to bring the people together. Each one teach one. Same teaching, same truth being spoke of. So again, what you gonna do with your wand? Now that you know you got it, what you gonna do with it? Yeah. So yeah, this is one word too, and this is actually inside of this word, but this hawk. The hawk is the truth that's mentioned on the path of Sufism. You know, al-haq. And actually, we say this is when man himself becomes the truth. You see, instead of looking for it and studying, you end up knowing who you are, so you become that in which you have been searching so long for. Powerful. Powerful, family. So what you going to do with your wand? Now that you know you have it, how many nations will you uplift? Each and every one of us have an obligation to raise up our family with the truth, so that they too may become messengers of what it is that we have to bring forth. In order to sustain ourselves as a nation, I mean, if we truly want to be that, because some of our people are just content with living up under somebody else. I'm not content with that. I'd rather, leave the plain and thing made manifest, knowing that I strove with might and main to demonstrate independence than live, in a state of cowardice or disarray, and die in that special state. But some of our people feel like, well, they're going to eat, drink, be merry. They don't care who's starving. They don't care, who in need. None of that. That's the way the world moves on. We're not talking about in need of, just material thing. We're talking about need of the truth. Our people so far removed away from that now, they don't know the truth. I like the chairman would say they wouldn't know the truth if it would have come to them and kiss them in the mouth. Yeah. So like I'm telling you, we got to get it right, family. We got to get it right. When you stray from the truth, you stray from yourself. If you're looking for a book of truth, you need to look to yourself again. If you want the whole truth and nothing but the truth, then you need to go within. If you want somebody to tell you the truth, then you need to listen to the silent voice that speaks within. And we can go on and on with this same measure, family. We want to make it plain. So, I just want to open the floor up at this point because, it ain't really a whole lot that need to be said because it's self-explanatory in regards to dealing with this lesson. But I want to ask my people, now that you have the wand of truth in your possession, what you gonna do with it? And what does the wand mean to you? How can you utilize this wand of truth to change your condition? So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen right here. Let me see. And we're gonna open up the floor for our family. Because I speak so much, I speak a lot. I don't have to speak all the time. But we're gonna always do what it is we're supposed to do. So I want to hear from our family, see what they have to say about this wand of truth. Islam. *6 your phone, or either give your measure, Moorish kin. Give me 1 second. Islam. So anybody have anything they want to say? If not, we definitely gonna start drafting some of our people on the conference call. Islam, brother. Can you hear me? Okay, hold up, brother Justice. Can you hear me, brother Justice? Yeah, I want to ask.
Yes, sir. I hear you very well.
Yeah, I want to ask our family. Do they hear you though? The family that's in the Facebook and the YouTube. Can they hear? Can y'all hear brother Justice speaking? Because I may have to share this audio. If not, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just go ahead and share the tab, brother, to make sure they can hear you. All right.
Praise Allah.
Okay. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. I guess I'll go. Yeah, that's it right there. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Can you family? Can y'all hear the brother Justice speaking? Go ahead, Justice.
Praise Allah. Honor to our Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honor to you, Dr. Shahid, our National Assistant Grand Chief, for this great class tonight. And honor to all of those who assist you on the class, and honor to the entire Act One. As always, special honor to our National Grand Chief and our National Grand Chamber of Moorish America, are empowered to make law and enforce law with the system of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. Honor to you, I'm hosting that, our National Assistant Grand Chief, but the Assistant Grand Chief is to assist the Grand Chief in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the citizens of Moorish America. Well, sir, the Prophet did say, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. I take it and save thyself. He to get you to thinking you save yourself. And just to give my little quick, small portion of understanding, the thing that the one of truth, sir, first thing that hit me was who made you? Allah, the great God of the universe. And the one of truth means Allah, our Holy Prophet, Noble Glory, and with me, the Moorish American prayer. Because these are some of the few first things that I learned coming home to the Moorish America government. And I had no idea that we had a God, we had a prophet, we had a government, a prayer, a flag, a land, to plant our flag in. I had no knowledge of any of these things whatsoever. But learning these laws and lessons gave me that one, because I had the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali up front, and still to this day. And you're able to do things because when you it's like an Act 4. The prophet tells us that we must preserve these holy and divine laws, keep them above the neck. And see, when you put these holy and divine laws, that's your build up above your neck, you're able to you're able to serve, you're able to aid and assist your people with them. And you get so many things done, which sometimes is difficult for me to explain. But you're not lost. You're not lost in any situation or condition because you have these laws and less above your neck. Because you remind yourself who made you. You got your Martial Miracle Prayer. You got your Divine Constitution. You got everything that the Holy Prophet Noble Lee brought you, and it gives you the power according to law to be able to help your people in a situation condition, whether they're conscious or not. And you're able to drop measures with your people and go about your business. But at the same time, it helps them. And when it helps them, it with me, if it aids and assists them, it just gives me the power more to want to study more and learn as much as possible. Because see, the great God of the universe made us, and his alpha job to aid and assist our people. The prophet brought it to us, and he let us know that we take these laws and lessons, and we take these laws and lessons to teach our people. Because it's like in chapter let me just read the way it says. It says in chapter 7, all citizens must promptly attend their meeting and become a part and portion for all uplifting acts of moral merit. Moral America must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessity of moral America. And then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wives and children. Wives, you must obey your husband and take care of your children. Look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of uplifting of fallen humanity. All moral America must keep their heart and mind pure with love and their body clean with water. This divine covenant is from your Holy Prophet Noble Ali through the guidance of Father God Allah. And see, sir, we have to do this. This is so important that we keep our heart and mind pure and clean. This because there's powers above the neck, and if we can maintain, if we keep these laws and a lesson out front above our neck with the Holy Prophet Noble Ali, knowing that Allah, the great God of the universe, said it for our earth of salvation, then we have that one. It's right there. It ain't one that with you see, but it's right there. And all we have to do is continue to use it and be about our Father's work, but be faithful. That's why you have to be faithful and keep that pure heart. Because see, we part and parcel of this, not just the Martial American government, but we have ownership of everything. I mean, we're talking about the earth, the universe, everything, because we are God. And this is what God do. Act like God, talk like God, walk like God, think like God, do what God do, because in the nature self to be God. Learn to steer your thoughts and be yourself God. With that being said, listen to your prophet on the train, because it's always be about our holy prophet, the great God of the universe, sitting for all our earth salvation, if we get these laws and lessons. That's my portion of understanding, sir. Tom.
That's right. It's always about the prophet and keeping it above the neck. You know, so long as you know what to do with your wand, then you know what it is. Islam. All right. Is there any other more who would like to come forth and exercise their fire? The floor is still open. All right.
That's not bad, man. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. We can hear you loud and clear, my brother.
Yeah, that's wrong, Martial America. Well, let me rise and give our praise to Allah and honor to our Holy Prophet Noble Ali, bringing us everything that it takes to save us as a nation. Giving honors to our Martial American government, our red national flag, the lunar seal, and giving honors to our Martial respected class brought forth by our Martial American government, and honors to you, man, for bringing forth a grand Martial perspective, Dr. Shadu Ahmed Mohammed Shuel, a National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Martial America. Islam, Dr. Torre Nur Rasul Simpson Bey, returning to her name being Dr. Kepler Nur Rasul Bey. And it's just an honor and a blessing to be able to exercise, my five on every given occasion. And as you were speaking, bringing forth your measure, coming from chapter 5, life works of Yehoshua and Joseph's home at the age of 7 years old. And, here in the Martial American government, definitely
Act 6 of the Divine Constitution of Moorish America, teaching our people their divine creed and nationality, because we understand that these two is what's missing from that 3/5, from the 3/5 man, European-made man. And, when Yehoshua is dealing with the wand and going around town to find those who want to come and feast and celebrate, this age of 7. This is symbolic to what it is to come together as a nation of people, following the footsteps of our beloved prophet Yehoshua, and knowing well who made us, who made you, Allah. And so with that great comprehensive work that was brought forth by our beloved prophet Yehoshua, to teach us who we are, to teach us that we are a clean and pure nation, and also to proclaim the Moorish Americans as a clean and pure nation, and up in Cuba, bringing us out the Constitution de Jure, the Divine Constitution of Moorish America, Grand National Flag, emblem and seal, everything that it takes to be a nation. Our prophet has brought it to us, and it's an honor and blessing to be able to exercise, these symbolic rights of having a nationality and divine creed, and to know that, each and every one of us are those grains of sand, but yet we all have that ocean as well within us, because Yehoshua, just like our beloved prophet Yehoshua, he says, Yehoshua says, what I've done, all men can do. Prophet Yehoshua says, follow the footsteps, study yourself, and also be loved. And so love is the cause of it all. So with that being said, it's an honor and a blessing to be a blessing, to be able to traverse this earth land, these territories, and be able to be a living example, a living representation of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because I know my condition has gotten better and better and better in this new era of time. Islam. Long live Moorish America.
Islam. Long live Moorish America indeed, brother. Praise be to Allah. Gratitude for that measure. All right. Are there any other Moors who would like to exercise their fire? Make some noise, Moors. I don't know about nobody else, but I don't know, what is the measure of just sitting there, and coming to listen and not giving your portion or the understanding, contributing to the people. Because what it is that you are supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be touching people with your wand. Unless we don't believe we have one. Grand National Secretary of State, do we need to start drafting some people?
It looks like we do, National Assistant Grand Chief.
All right. We finna turn up then.
All right. Let's see. How about 156 Bay, our Consul General out of Canada? Well, Dr. Golan, Asher Smith Bay, are you available more?
I don't see my paycheck, my more space check. Don't draft me until I see my check.
Gratitude.
That's why I do that, some quick. I would just say some word. That's why I didn't even. Yeah, I think I hear some feedback. But I'm here, God's Queen, and I'm here, Divine Family. You know, we always write under the great God of love, great God of the universe, and honor to Aquan, that they bring the one to us, you know, to our 60 million plus. So the family said, you have to go to sabotage worship of the mind, because there's a thing that the family said we have to study. Because for you to give a one to anyone, you'd have to be the one yourself, you know, become the mastering of yourself, you know, your higher self, lower self, because remember, when you deal with our family, in this NBC mindset, it would be like a dead state you're dealing with. So you'd have to approach them in such a way that they can understand it, you know, while you're teaching them or telling them, because, you know, everyone always wants to be the right one. And as the family said, you know, there's no, you know, everyone is right. Just have to get ourselves back together. What they've done to us, you know, rip us apart and turn us against each other. And as the family would say, you know, even reverse the age that they teach us one night. You know, I go back and I get the pens and I study everything that, you know, when I hear when I come to this class, you know, reverse the age and you get this, you get that. And the one, you know, as I said, evil, you know, the other thing, you know, called Hollywood, the one. Everything is all about us. You know, everything that you see around us is one. You know, the show, the everything that you said. But once we get our mind back within this oneness, because as I said, they divide our people so in such a way that we're the only nation right now fighting against each other. The east against the west, north against the south, and so forth and so on. So that's why we say once we come back together, because we are one divine family, 60 million plus, and once we get this one pat down, you know, they think we're done, but we just are come. So that I said to the family again everywhere, from the North Pole, South Pole, and all the joining islands. Them, in a movie, they say, well, I think Marcus, the Messiah God, said they were supposed to be a king come, and they bring that one come and give the family. And that's why right now the family have such a problem. Because I even see the 17th and Marcus, the Messiah God, be driving around, and make I wonder. So that I said, the family there everywhere. It's a gigantic work. Divine family, one love. Love you all.
Islam. And gratitude, brother, for that draw. And praise be to Allah. All right. Islam. Now, you know, we had more breaking their neck trying to get that number, the new number, and wanting to get the code. And now that you got the code, what you going to do with this wand?
Islam.
Islam. Come on in here, brother.
Did we hear another Moorish kid?
Yeah, we heard a brother. We got a brother just coming. Islam, brother.
Islam, Mighty Moore. Grand measure. Definitely, I know definitely ones are definitely getting their thoughts together as you put together a master demonstration, you know, based on our Prophet Hope Noble Drew Ali. I'm Divine Minister Harouk Bakat Mayad Al-Day, Vice Consul General of the Michigan Consulate. Let me first rise and give all praise to our Father God Allah, honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honors to the Moorish American government, and honors to this beautiful class, Moorish perspectives, this class and this question in regards to your wine is truth. With this, you touch the multitudes, and every man becomes a messenger of holy light in life. Islam, you know, so it's a blessing that we've been touched with this truth. You know, that we can go out and touch the multitudes as you just touched us with this truth. And this truth is a changing, once like you said, it's Allah. And, you know, it's, and this truth that we have, it just can't just live within us. You know, this truth, it just has to go out to the four corners of the world, just as Yehoshua did in this very chapter. You know, he used this truth to bring those ones together that didn't have the same thing that he had. And, you know, he felt for those who didn't have as much as he had. So he went and shared his blessings and the overflow from his table. And we can learn a lot from that because we have to unify. We have to come together, no matter how much we have different statuses, and he didn't look he didn't look down on those ones who didn't have less, but he went and found those lowly ones. And so we can't be scared to go down and help those ones who might have less than us. Or we can't be judging people. We really have to come together and unify, because together we are all Allah's children. No matter how it may seem, we are all created by God. And once we come together, we will create a beautiful harmony. In that holy state, and as we unify together in harmony. So that's the grand goal, that we all come together under this divine truth. But unless we come together in these classes and really, purify our hearts and minds, then we don't have the example. So it's a great thing that we have these classes, that we can have the example, that we can be the example, so we can be the message that we can be the message of our prophet. And so this is a grand class, and honest to you for giving this demonstration and wielding that wand. So you know what I'm saying. So we just have a great example from our prophet. And as he has touched us, we got to go and touch the world. Islam and peace.
Islam and peace, brother. Yes, sir. It don't take long to tell the truth. Gratitude, Vice Consul General. Well, all right. Any other more would like to come forth and exercise their fire?
Islam.
Islam.
Divine Minister Kama Shube, Consul General for the territory of Michigan. First, I want to rise and give all praise to our great God Allah, and honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the Moorish American government, its officials and the citizens, and honors to the Moorish perspective. More, when I think of dealing with this measure with the wand and the wand of truth, number one, we have to remember we're dealing with, there's two measures here. Number one, we are not Negro, colored folks, black people, and Ethiopians. Okay, we have to understand that these names were given to us during slavery. That's one measure. Another measure is also that our God is not on a stick. We're getting more in tune with our original status, dealing with our divinity, which is within. We're not looking to an earthly direction, for the great God. We look within. By dealing with that lower self, we don't need a priest or a middleman to intercede. Everything we can do, we can go straight up to our Father God Allah, and get to work. So it's dealing with nationality, correcting who we are as a people, connecting ourselves back with our ancestors, and on the other side, getting our hearts and minds in proper order, and connecting us back to divinity. Islam.
Islamism, that's what it's about. That's right. You and I tie. Islamism. Islamism. So any other Moors like to come forth and give their portion? Okay, I'm gonna drop this link in here for you, brother. I think I gave you the wrong one. Islam. Is that the grand man, brother?
Islam.
Brother Malik?
Grand
Oh, that's our brother. What his name?
Sean Washington
Imhotep.
From the territory. Grand class assistant, National Grand Sheik.
I rise and give all praise to the great God Allah. I give all honors to the prophet, we try to lead the last prophet. I give all honors to the most big credit flag, government flag. And the Holy Quran. Oh man, it's a grand class of the 5 principles. The prophet, he came back. And when he went over there to Kemet, he went to Arabia, he went to Canaan. He came back with the 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And, I be thinking, I said, our people, man, our more can is out here. They need to come into this government, quit playing games, and to stop, kind of going to organizations, trying to create your own. You got all these people that's claiming, they're taking everything from the prophet. And this new group, they talking about he is something with a Moroccan flag, and the prophet didn't bring all that. We L's and Bays, it ain't about titles and all this stuff. And you got all these other groups out here claiming they, God is the earth and all this stuff. But and I was looking at, all these groups, and y'all Moors, He didn't say create no organizations. He said come into the divine national movement. When he went to Cuba, when it was Marcus Garvey, he didn't go over there as an organization. And the more science temple, they cause confusion. They telling us everything's in the temple. We are United States citizens, And the prophet, I'm reading his lessons. He didn't bring that to us. The More Science Temple is not a government. They're not a true government, And only time you see the More Science Temple only on Fridays and Sundays. Then they not Moors no more. So they still playing church, And Prophet told us, give everything, give Christianity back to the pale skinned nations of Europe, So, and I'm looking at nation building. I'm looking to stir up our nation and this government. I'm glad to keeping this government going. To keeping the lights on and all this. That's why we gotta pay our dues. Keep paying our dues. Every month. I'd rather you pay your dues. I don't know how people pay their dues, but we gotta keep this government going. We got to put the message out here. I was out here today. I kept it moving. There's I heard one young lady. I said, well, she told me, that irritates me. I was like, all right, well. Peace and love, gratitude, in the grand class.
You say a sister told you something what she say irritated her? The truth?
She said it irritates her. I was there. Yeah, but I was saying, I know the young lady, she got some issues. I said, all is well. She said irritates her. I irritate her or something. I kept it moving.
Yeah. Islam. Allah's leading on. And victory.
Islam.
Everybody don't unfold at the same time.
Yeah, be sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Gratitude. Well, all right. We got a brother
Gratitude
in the audience, that's checked in as well, Kyle. And I think they wanted to give a measure. You there, family?
Islam, all praise be to Allah and honors to his holy and divine prophet, Noble Drali, may peace be upon him. How you doing, Sheikh?
Yeah, all is well, my brother. How about yourself?
Islam, or I'm just trying to stay on this divine path that the prophet had laid before us, man. And I wanted to give honors to you as well, brother. you know, because the work you've been putting in your mighty mission, you know, and bringing the understanding, which is the rock upon which man builds himself, to the forefront. Islam. It's truly a mighty work, brother. And what I love even more is the fact that you don't care how many people is in the chat. You don't care how many people on the video. You don't care if it's two, 3, 4, 5 people, man. You gonna preach the truth, brother, and that's the law, man. That is wonderful, man. Truly, truly. I wanted to give honors to you for that, brother. You heard me? Uh,
Oh,
uh, the other thing is, man, just understanding the embodiment of the Moorish Temple of America, man. This is something that we really got to understand, man. The prophet told us that it's going to take 50 years for y'all to understand what I brought you. And if you're not careful, it'll take another 50 years, right? And y'all may not even know I was here, all right? And we have to really realize, man, the mindset that the prophet was in compared to everybody else around him, right? You know, because we got to look at it. He was really like a one-man army almost, just single-handedly ushering in a completely new age, like by itself. And then I had to really reflect on, well, what exactly does a person bring, right, in order to bring the masses and the nations, or to usher in that new cycle age? When one door closes, another door flies open, right? Islam. So, what exactly establishes that? And it was actually, I think it was really embodied in the message that he laid before the nations, when he talked about uh, what really makes what establishes the nation, what really establishes the nation, what we have to really embrace, uh, and that's the kingdom, man. Like the prophet, man, he set us up. He truly left no stone unturned, right? So if we really look at it, we are a state. We're a religious body politic, right? So we're not a body politic. We're a religious body politic, and I know a lot of people, have been swayed into taking a predisposition against the religious aspects and principalities of the Moorish Temple of America. But once we understand, I think once we truly start to understand the origins of the nation and how the colonies were set up, uh, you know, uh, and how religious body politic operates, then I think we could. That's when we really start to, shift into that nature of truth. But what really ushers in the new age of understanding, is the information, right? It's the truth. It's the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that changes. Not what has to be done is it has to be transliterated into a language that the people can understand, because that's the only way we can build that solid foundation, is if we understand. So there has to be a common denominator that unites the people, regardless of the multitude of differences that they have. Islam. But I just want to say it's really a kingdom, y'all. And if you really do some research on the religious body politic, you will get to understand that this is how the old English kingdoms were set up. When they Rome had set up different providences. You see what I'm saying? These were actually and not even just Rome, but just before Rome, during when they were trying to form these different congregations amongst themselves, they actually were forming religious body politics, because they were still under quote unquote a religious or a Christian mindset, right? So the religious body politics were ran by nobles, which are noble kings, right? And all the people, and under the kings you had certain barons and things of that nature. But a kingdom operates totally different from a republic or a democrata, right? Or a democracy. It's a totally different setup. It's a totally different socioeconomic structure that we really have to grasp, right? What we're really supposed to do is we're supposed to grasp and embody the principles of economic security for Marcus Garvey and align them with their religious beliefs, right? Of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, under the umbrella of Islamism. But I think, if we understand what, the real role that we all have to play here, the prophet laid the foundation. We have to build on it. And it's truly, he said, man, we have to truly listen to the words of the prophet. He said, the Moorish Science Temple of America, so important, so critical. Not Moorish Science Temple for America, Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's so important, y'all. I mean, and it's crazy. If you look on the 1928 convention flag, you will see he underlined the of. Oh my goodness, man. So powerful. That was so critical. Like, the signs and symbols are truly for the conscious minds, Miles. He underlined the of in the convention. And people didn't even understand the science behind him changing it from the Moorish Holy Temple of Science to the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then solidifying that with the Holy Seal. Man, that was a magnificent work, man. That was truly when the nation was established, because a religious body politic is a state. It's a jural society, right? And how it's established as a nation, because we got to think, right? In order to be a nation, you got to, be recognized by other nations, and things of that nature. But if you look at how he set it up, the civics, and changed it, not added to, but changed. The reason for that, the First Amendment contains the 3/5 clause, but it also contains the religious clause, right? In a religious clause, if you set yourself up as a religious body politic, which is really a kingdom, an Islamic kingdom, and the special provisions, governing Muslims that were initiated during World War II, it's immaculate. Like, we don't even have the same borders or standards. Muslims don't have the same international borders or standards as other nations, due to what happened in World War II with Adolf Hitler, where the Turks aligned with Hitler, right, in Germany, and that completely, changed the international geopolitical landscape. It completely changed it, right, for Muslims, right? So when he say you're a Moorish American Muslim, the Muslim also, it's not a Moorish American national. We have to really understand that it's not a Moorish American national, as some would lead you to believe, but we're Moorish American Muslims, because a Muslim, right, has certain provisions, when traveling abroad and internationally and nationally. But it puts us in a position, right? Because, if we look at the founding fathers, if we look at, how the colonies were set up, we look at, how a religious body politic operates, the provisions under the First Amendment are more, you got to look at how he set it up. What enslaves you also will set you free. So the First Amendment is literally, it's the keys to the chains that was put on you. Right, what I'm saying? And I want to give honors to the brother Ely Hugh Pleasant Bay. I read the Examination a couple times, but it was still a few key elements that the brother was missing out of up out of there, as far as transitioning to the entity that he ended up setting up, when the prophet said, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. That means it was perfected, just as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Arabians, back then, I have perfected your religion for you, Islam. So our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, may peace be upon him, did the same thing. He perfected our religion for us, Islam, which is our government, right? It's a religious body politic. It's a theocratic government, right? Which is ran by a king, which is who we call a sultan, Islam. You know, and that's why he said that. You know, I had to. I had
Pardon about it, good brother. You know what I mean?
Islam.
I want to ask you a question. I want to dialogue with you a little bit.
Islam.
Because you know the prophet's words is the best words.
Absolutely.
The first time the prophet ever used Moorish, and we talking about officially, you know, what did he refer to, you know, the word Moorish as the first time he used it in the literature?
You say, what did he refer to Moorish as?
Yeah, the first time he used the term Moorish in the literature, what date did he do that, and what did he refer to it as?
I'm not familiar with that, brother. As far as what he referred to more as, I only know him to refer to more.
I'm gonna help you out. You know, he referred to it May 1st, 1916 as the Moorish Divine and National Movement.
Oh, Islam.
You see?
Islam. Absolutely. Okay, I ain't going with it.
That's the first time that Moorish was used. Even though we say 1913, the MST was established, it really referred to the Canaanite temple, but the spirit of the MST, you know, was there. But the Canaanite temple was found in 1913. And I said that to say this right here, good brother. You know, the prophet said in his oral statements, he gonna lead a European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a what?
A government, Islam.
Okay. He didn't say run the United States government. He said run a government.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, the government he was talking about was different from the United States government, didn't it?
Absolutely.
But he wasn't able to carry that out. So that would separate us from the Moorish, you know, Moorish Science Temple as it deals with a lawfully chartered organization and the works that were done there into what we call the supreme laws that were handed down to us in this new era and time. Nothing against the MSTFA or none of that. So we are here to do the work of establishing government. And under our government, our temple should be subject to the executive rulers of the MS. You know, executive rulers of the MSTFA really represent government officials, right? So there are no government officials. Pardon the body, brother. I let you speak. I'm gonna let you speak again. Just hear me out. So there are no, you know, executive rulers of the MSTFA. When I say that, I'm saying there are no governmental officials running the MSTFA. So what I'm saying, if the prophet said he was going to lead a European here long enough to run a government, to teach the Moors how to run one, we doing that work. The brothers in the temple doing the work that they do. We ain't got nothing against that. That's what they want to do. That man going to find himself where he can solve his problem best. Now, this Moorish American government has already been accepted. You know, our flag seals and the ensign, the Declaration of Proclamation status of jurisdiction. So this is not a sham government that we demonstrate. It's a real government. Problem is our people think, you know, that in order for you to be a real government, you know, you got to have $1 million and you got to have all this land. You got to have all this stuff here. But the problem is the difference between the Europeans when they established the United States and the Moorish American. Them Europeans was fed up with the British crown. They was fed up with the way they was being treated, so they broke away and they became secessionists. Problem with us, our people still want to try to hold on to the United States and keep one foot in their government, cares of the world, i.e., and then at the same time try to be a Moorish American. You can't do that. And Moorish America is different from occupied America, good brother. I'm familiar with, you know, this body politic language that's being used, but to be honest with you, brother, there is no religious body politic for us that represent a government. That's the Vatican. You know, people try to do that with the Moorish. Your government is coming into your own nation, building your own government, and then you become somebody that go beyond a religious body politic, because religious body politics are subject to governments and not the other way around. You
It's
see, and
Islam.
so
Islam.
when we say Muslim and Moorish national, yeah, you can be a Moorish national and not know you're a Moorish national. For example, you can be an Asiatic, but that's all you are. If you don't know who you really are, the Muslim is the divine degree in you. To us, a Muslim is one who submit to the will. A Muslim is the will of Allah. You see what I'm saying?
Um,
So that's the
Islam,
difference
brother.
in the way that
I,
we
I,
teach here. Go ahead, good brother.
and I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, and being to cut your
Oh
wisdom
no,
or nothing,
you
brother.
okay? You okay? You
Islam,
good?
but you know
I just wanted
the
to.
prophet stated that all true Moors will and must obey the laws given to you by who? Your prophet, Islam. So what he was saying, like when you
On the
understand,
general law,
it's
right?
it's like no sir, no sir. That's period. That's period.
You mean
General laws, supreme laws, divine constitution by laws, Holy Quran of the Most High Temple of America, last 4 chapters, however you want to put it, whatever words the prophet spoke, that's the law.
okay? So you read the
Islam,
exhumed of
hold
the
on.
nation.
Let me finish, brother. Let me finish real fast.
Good brother, you on my
When you want,
platform.
oh
Hold
yeah,
up, you
I
on
got
my
you,
platform.
brother. I got you, brother. But
So
I'm
listen,
trying to really, I'm
listen,
trying to really get us
good
in
brother,
perspective on something real quick.
good
When
brother.
we talk
Listen to me.
about,
I'm not here to
it,
argue with you. Look, I'm not here to argue with you. Ain't no
oh no,
contention here.
brother,
So
I ain't trying to.
calm your ethers. Calm your ethers. I'm gonna let you speak. But I'm asking you, you say you read the exhuming of a nation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you read the exhuming of a nation, you said it was things that were left out there, right?
Yes,
That
sir. That
could
was
be
good.
done. So now I'm asking you this question. Being that you say there were things that were left out, you must be in possession of those things then. And can you demonstrate right now to us how that has made you successful?
Islam. So,
You can share your screen if you
and,
want to.
and absolutely, brother, absolutely. Oh no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
out and about right now, y'all.
Okay.
You
So
know,
how has that made you successful is what I'm
just to
asking.
make
Go ahead.
just to make
Go
some
ahead.
clarity, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
state, just going back, just going full circle on what you said earlier, right? There are no executive rulers of the MSTFA,
That's right.
right? And not because that those positions are illegitimate, it's because that there is, as far as when we talk about a real religious body politic, there is no one has really came to the real keyword understanding of what a religious body politic is and how it operates. See, if you understand that a religious body politic is operated as a kingship. So now we can even take it back to Kemet, brother, because I love your work on the heretic text and your transliterations. It's awesome work, brother. Don't think I ain't saying it. I fully understand, right? But going back to that mindset, we're talking about kingships, right? So that kingship, when we look at the temples of Saqqara, when we look at the temples of Kapavitsu, right? These temples were multi-purpose temples. So the same place where we will hold a religious meeting or convene on where we finna take the nation, that's the same place where we bury people. That's the same place where we hold our teachings, our schools. This is the same place where we study and meditate. These were multi-purpose temples, right? So when we put on that mindset that these temples were multi-purpose, then the same temple that you're using to run your government, you using to hold your religious service, you using to hold your Sunday school, you using to, you know what I'm saying, bury the dead, you using to actually convene in the government, because there was no difference between what was divine and what was earthly. It was all one for real, right? So going back to the kingship, why is every word that the king says like law, right? Because that's
Good
how
brother,
a
I asked
religious
you
body.
a question and I'm waiting for you to answer that question for me though.
Okay, you said
I asked you
how has it helped?
how
How has
has
it
it
helped
been
me? I'm
successful?
gonna tell
Right,
you.
made you be successful. That's right. Can you
I'm gonna tell
demonstrate
you.
that now?
So it made me be successful
Mm-hmm.
through the understanding, right? Because I have direction now. I got purpose.
So where's the
I
nation
actually,
though? That's with
you
you.
say what?
Yeah, where's the nation with you? Because see, we believe that unless all of our
Okay.
people free, you know, ain't no such
Yeah,
thing as
yeah, yeah.
individual
None of us is
So
free. So
I'm
this
saying,
is
how
this
has
is
it
my
helped you and another group of people as a collective is what I'm
okay.
asking. I ain't trying to
If,
be funny. I'm asking you
oh no,
because I
no,
really
I get you, brother. But just like all things, take time to unfold, right?
mm-hmm.
Because it takes brothers like myself and yourself to come to an understanding to bring to the people. You see what I'm saying? So they can either align with it or cease wearing a turban of fez. It's that simple. Whom Allah has guided, no one can guide. Right, but like I
Okay,
say,
now that you answered that
it
question,
takes
right?
brothers for the initiative. But I'm getting to it right now, brother. Islam. You saying what body of people? You see what I'm saying? I have that's moving in the form of a religious body politic, which is by law how the prophet set the temple up, which is by law a kingdom citizenship. Uh, that's in the motion. But my method, you see what I'm saying? Because I'm getting to the meat and potatoes right now, is the fact that the prophet said that this is the sole foundation. This is this is the only remedy. This is I'm gonna just ask you, brother, did not the prophet say this is the Moor Science Temple of America is the only remedy? That's the sole remedy for the Asiatics in America. That wasn't by mistake. Once we understand what it is and how it operates. But because we got people running around here, starting their own nations and actually
Good brother,
operating their own more, I know Islam,
good
brother,
brother.
operating
Pardon the
their own
body,
more science temple of America on the
good
50C3
brother.
instead of a religious body politic.
Pardon the body, good brother. Because I'm letting you speak on here longer than we let people speak on this call. All the more speak 7 minutes
Islam,
short. I let you
Islam,
go a long time, right? And then when I
Islam.
start speaking, start cutting into what I was saying. And I ain't the type of person I try to, get upset and kick you off the platform. But I'm saying conversations go two ways. They don't go one way. So I want to ask you this one question, brother. How many temples did the prophet set up?
If I'm not mistaken, before he passed in July 20th, 1929, he had about uh, close to around 16 temples, if I ain't mistaken.
That's correct. Now, none of the temples on the manifest had the prophet's signature on their charters. You know why?
I'm listening, brother.
Because they didn't come through the lineage of the prophet, brother. The chairman is the only one that had an actual charter in his possession that came directly from the prophet. And that came from the Cook Bays, who was in the temple that was set up in Baltimore. A real, piece of paperwork that come directly. So if he wanted to start a temple, he would have been more legitimate than anybody. But all these temples that are on the manifest now, brother, they come through the lineage of Kirkman Bay, which was remixed under what we call Robert's Rules and Orders. That is not what the prophet established. In fact, they allowed the prophet's temples to be dissolved and revoked. Trust me when I tell you this. All you got to do is go and look into the Department of Corporation in Illinois, which is what a prophet's temple is supposed to be, and you'll see it don't exist no more, brother. So not even people that are claiming that they're in the MSTLA even have power to even operate as a religious corporation, because they're not doing it under the prophet's charter. So yeah, you got a lot of people that went and set up 501c3s. They done set
Yes,
up
sir.
some of them credentials revoked. I got all this in my archives. From Washington, D.C. all the way back to Chicago and Baltimore.
Yes,
People
sir.
operating
Yes,
as MSTLA and are not lawfully operating as that.
sir.
So when you're
Yes,
talking to
sir.
me,
I
good
fully
brother,
agree. I
I'm
fully
looking
agree.
at it from that aspect. If it didn't come from the prophet,
Same.
it's not of the prophet. So if the prophet say he's gonna lead the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government, that's the work we doing. So you'll never see the Moorish American government going trying to tell the Moorish Science Temple, you wrong for doing what you doing over there. We'll give them the message and tell them what the prophet said about government, but we ain't finna go up in their platform and try to force them to become Moorish American government. Our duty is to teach our people. So we are the Moorish American government, good brother. And nothing that you would say, with all due respect, is going to change that, right? And that ain't nothing against the MST of A. But trust me, we know law. We familiar with the UCC and all that stuff more good, and that's bogus too. You know, that ain't got nothing to do with us. The body politic, the body politic was established under Robert's Rules of Order, good brother. That's why I mentioned that. You know, chapter 33. I'm familiar with all of that. That's Christian law. The prophet told us in our teaching to get a church and Christianity back to the European. You understand? So Herd's revised statutes, it was a law that was established for religious corporation, and that ain't no different than they gave to the Shriners or anybody else they allowed to use Herds. Herds did not make the MST of A special, brother. Herds is a basic teaching that deal with all little organization that they want to establish. You go on the Shriners, they dealing with Herds. You deal with Masons, they dealing with Herds. You deal with Christian Church, they dealing with Herds. That's just a part of the process. If I establish something right now, be dealing with Herds. So the body politic that they're mentioning in that has nothing to do with government in the sense that we're talking about, good brother. They'll call the Shriners a government, in Masonry a government, but is that a real government? Because they call that in their literature. No, those are not governments. So we got to understand what we go ahead, good brother, and I got to go to my officials in a second.
I get you, Miles. But how the prophet made us unique, right? And
stand down, Sister Cammy. Let the brother finish.
Real quick, how the prophet made us unique and separated us from these organizations, because the prophet also said, I'm taking the veil off all these, you know, secret organizations and things, right? So whatever they were hiding, the prophet, of course, brought it to the public. But what made us different was the fact that the prophet set us up on the 10-10-5905, right? And so that's an actual, like, just speaking in law, man. I'm not trying to bring, you know, opinions and things of that nature to the platform. But when I look, if you look into the Cook County records and you click on trust, you type in 10-10-5905, you're going to see a totally different aspect of what the prophet ended up setting up for us. And this kind of going to Dinglewell and what he did in 1972. You know what I'm saying? And he was actually trying to give the temple back to the Europeans. When you look at, you know, how ones were setting stuff up, but a religious body politic operating under a trust, and not just any trust. It's a state trust, right? Like a real trust. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? You can go on Cook County records and look at it for yourself, man. You and all the sisters on the platform, man, and look at the different things that people set up under 10-10-5905. But it only goes back to 1970. If you want the actual records, you got to physically go into the county and get the records before 1970. But you know what I'm saying? When I looked at 10-10-5905 and the power behind him putting the Herd versus statute under that, you know, with the affidavit, it just made us real unique, man. It made it way more than what people thought it was. And then if you add that with putting on the mindset of our forefathers and foremothers, like the mindset coupled with the kingdom, you know, is our real salvation. That's the true salvation. Because if you operate under a trust, we know that these people operate under the Sedicate Trust, stuff that lead back to the Pope and the Vatican, you know, and, you know, the Sedicate Trust, and, you know, just the straw and all of these things that people, the pseudo stuff that people is already teaching. We know that the prophet, he set us up, man. He was so far ahead, man. That's all I'm saying, man. That brother ain't leave a stone unturned. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, get on her and cause confusion or nothing, brother. I'm just talking about law, man. And when we really get to it, He got the keys
But
to our
but
reparations.
I got to go to my officials now, good brother.
Go ahead, brother.
We have
Islam, man. I
started,
appreciate the time.
but
I
you're
appreciate
welcome to come back here, right? But we
Islam.
just have protocol in here. You know what I mean?
Oh
At
yeah,
9
go
o'clock,
ahead,
we
bro.
go to the officials.
Hey,
So I give honors to you, and I encourage you to go back and read the Exhuming of a Nation again, good brother. You know, praise be to Allah. You know, it's honors to you. You know, and all is well, brother. We draw on what you're talking about, and we familiar with it. So I look forward to speaking to you again, and hopefully you come back to the platform, good brother. But at this time, yes, sir. And we're gonna call 4 or 5 officials because we kind of went off of the subject matter of what we was building with up here anyway. You know, so gratitude to you, good brother.
Yes, sir. Gratitude to you, man. And I appreciate the time, man. Thanks for the opportunity, brother. Me just for, you know, because
you can come back.
bro.
You can come back again. You can come back again.
Islam.
We're gonna go to the officials right now. Islam, brother.
Islam. Islam.
Right.
Peace and love, y'all. Safety first.
Yes, sir. Peace and love, Muslim. Allah is leading on.
Islam.
All right. So at this time, what we're gonna do, we're gonna call forth our officials, you know, starting with our beloved goddess and queen, Sister All-Set Amun El. Islam, you there, goddess? Okay, all is well. Well, all right, we're gonna call forth our National Grand Mufti, Dr. Khonshu Ma'at Herubay. Islam. We know our brothers about the business of our Father God Allah. Okay. Well, what about our Grand National Secretary of State?
Islam.
Okay, yeah, we hear you now, Grand Mufti. That's you.
Yeah, I had to go out and come back in. We'll let me in.
Okay. Gratitude.
Gratitude to you, Angel. We rise, first and foremost, giving all thanksgiving, adoration, worship, and praise to our Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, the most beneficent and the most wise. And we give the highest honors that we can give to his prophet, our prophet, the last prophet in these days and in these times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, El-Haj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, the savior of humanity. We give honors to his forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and we give honors to his government, our government, the Moorish American government, the government in which we live, according to Act 6. We give honors to the officials of this said government, our divine ministers, our swift angel, our mufti, our royal council, our secretaries. We give honors to our citizens, the Moorish Americans. We give honors to our flag, our divine constitution and bylaws, our Holy Quran, our Grand National Seal, our Grand National Emblem, our Book of Fire, the Exhuming of a Nation. We give honors to everything that is Moorish. We give a special high honors to you, National Assistant Grand Chief, for this Grand Moorish perspective this evening. Dr. Shadu and Minty and Medhu Shepsewell. We give honors to all of our Moorish kin who have spoken before us, and to our Moorish kin that will speak after us. We give honors to you, angels. We just continue to give the honors where they're due, and honoring all true and divine prophets. And we give honor to our ancestors, that they have come before us, leading the way. We are them today without doubt or contradiction, because no one has the power to change man from his descent nature. Praise Allah for that. And it's been a grand Moorish perspective, and, you know, dealing with that wand of truth. You know, this is one thing that's so wonderful about the truth. We just don't change to pass away. You know, it's something that you can build a strong foundation upon. And what we going to do with it is what our prophet told us to do with it, according to Act 6, you know, because that cuts all the nonsense out. He told us that we are here to teach our people their nationality and their divine creed, plain and simple, so that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because those names were given to slaves by slaveholders. in 1779. It lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. And that's, to me, most important. So, the prophet brought us a key. He didn't say nothing about religion. He said by the nations of the earth and the government in which they live. And so it's upon us, at least upon me, as a Moorish American, as our prophet told us in our keys when he asked us, key 12, 13, what's his nationality? Moorish American. What's our nationality? Moorish American. That's what we're here to do. And I think that's where a lot of the problem comes in for our people, is that we trying to put the cart before the horse. The first thing, if one is listening to their prophet, is we are here to teach our people nationality and divine creed, first and foremost. Until our people can get a drawn up nationality and divine creed, you trying to, it's like giving $1 million to someone who can stay in the casino. They're going to lose it as soon as you give it to them. They have no understanding of how to deal with wealth. This is why a lot of ones, when they win the lottery, they go broke in a few years, because they don't know how to handle wealth. And before we as a people, can truly get our wealth and attain to the highest that's within us, we have to learn how to govern ourselves. The L's and the B's. We create what we have and we govern it. And so, using my wand of truth, I have to create, situations, or put myself in situations that I can govern what I demonstrate. Because it's not about owning everything. It's the fact that we have dominion. We are the Lord of the plane of soul and the plane of things made manifest, meaning that we are here to rule over that demonstration. Allah is the owner and the creator of everything. And our mission is to not only bring love and truth, peace, freedom, and justice to ourselves, but at some point go straight to our brothers and sisters out in the East. Because our prophet told us that until these principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice are accepted by the nations of the earth, it's not going to be no peace. So until we can give them this lesson. And so it's important for us as a nation of people and as those with the wand of truth to shed light on the truth that this is what we're here to do. Every generation has a different job. And sometimes we get caught up in trying to do everything at one time, like a microwave thought pattern, like it's supposed to happen instantaneously. And that's not how nature works. That's not the harmonies of life. The harmonies of life work in conjunction with each other. And as we continue to move forward, Star System Baltimore, as we continue to work within the harmonies of life, that's what's going to breed the justice, mercy, love, and right. That's what's going to bring forth the growth. And so, as we listen to the class this evening, National Assistant Grand Sheik, and really drew off, like you said, the wand of truth. What we going to do with our wand of truth? What we're going to do with it is use it to clear up the haze and the fog of the misconception about who we are. Because as the prophet said, when you get the pen in your hand, then you write your name your way. So it's to understand that we have the opportunity to be who we have been divinely created to be is the vision and the truth that I want to always share with my people. One thing I always share with my people is since 1865, we have had the choice whether we wanted to be a part of the United States or not. That's the whole demonstration. Once slavery is over, it's two new nations of people. Now you can either take the granted privileges of the United States and be chartered in their organizations under their rules, under what we understand about law, this jurisdiction, or you could choose to get with your own people and have your own laws, your own government in which you live, your own house, and be their subject unto your own people and your own. It's a simple choice that we have. You know, we can take the granted privileges, or we can do the responsible work and securing our own people in our own nation and be thrice blessed. And so, with the bond of truth, we always want to shed that light that everybody has a choice. Salvation, as our prophet said, is upon the self. I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. So, if one wants to go, and save themselves within granted privileges, that is your right and your choice. But for us, and especially for me, I choose the responsibility of having my own. I choose the responsibility and the reward that comes with being part of my own nation and having my people with the same background, understanding, language, and heritage that we could bring about a tradition and I won't say lineage, but inheritance of being divine. Because until we do that, one is always going to be in a dead state of mind. And the prophet said that the problem we have now is a mental slavery. One is locked into a thought pattern that the only thing they can do is operate within the jail. You know what I mean? But the doors to the prison is open once slavery was declared out. So you ain't got to keep operating inside the jail. We can walk outside because the world is vast and create our own reality and way of life. So gratitude for this class this evening, National Grand Sheik, and gratitude to you, Moorish America, and sympathizers and supporters for your time, attention, and your respect. Most importantly, we love you. Islam and peace.
And Islam and peace to you as well, Grand Mufti. We give honors to you for that grand draw, and praise be to Allah. And Islamism without the schism, that's Aliism. Islam. Well, all right. Well, let us call forth our Grand National Secretary of the State. Islam.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, sister.
Praise Allah. Islam, Moorishkin. First of all, I want to rise, give all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our Moorish American government, all of our officials, staff, the angels, muftis, divine ministers, most especially our Moorish kin. Giving honor to all those Moors that spoke before me, all those Moors that will speak after me. Giving a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Chief of Moorish America. Start fix your phones, Moorish kin, getting some feedback. For opening our meeting according to law and also hosting this brand Moorish Perspectives class this evening. Our subject matter coming from Ayat 12, your wand is truth. With this, you touch the multitude, and every man becomes a messenger of holy light and life. This has been a grand class, Dr. Shahid, and much gratitude to all of our Moorish kin that brought forth their special measure, and also to our family online. When we look at the truth, and as you stated, the 5 highest principles known to man are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And by us being children of our Creator, our Father God Allah, we also have these special attributes of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Prior to the advent of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we did not have a clue. The Prophet let us know that we were in a state of mental slavery, and he let us also know that we were missing a nationality and divine creed. We were currently operating under 3/5 of all other persons, which in essence, according to Rome's law, is property. So when we look at nationality and divine creed, as our National Grand Mufti spoke about, we have to recognize that now we have the responsibility, because when the prophet declared us as a nation of people, which he says that supreme laws will be handed to you later, we now have the responsibility to recognize what it takes to become a nation, to recognize the fact that we have to learn how to sustain ourselves as a nation of people, and that takes self-determination. The other thing that I love about what our prophets brought, dealing with that wand of truth, is we now learn how to activate our God power, so that as we look in our subject chapter for the week, when it speaks about our wand being truth, and with this you touch the multitude. Along with that comes that golden cord of love, which enables one to calm the fury, bring harmony, bring peace, bring balance, hook us back up with our ancestors' way of thinking. When we look at it from the aspect of, which was so key more, finding our purpose. And nothing could be clearer than following the footsteps of our prophet Noble Ali. When we look at the responsibility of what it takes now that we have the keys of civilization. So first, we have got to educate and uplift ourselves. And this is the other thing that I give honor to our prophets for, because in that state of unconsciousness, we were lulled to sleep. We were lulled to remain in that coffin. Don't think, don't do anything when it comes down to trying to uplift oneself. So the prophet said that the actions of the soul are thinking, reasoning, understanding, willing, and remembering. This is what you're supposed to be about. This is what your life work is dedicated to, your mission of divinity. And this also has the responsibility of recognizing that we've got to stay in our higher selves in order for us to be able to bring forth these enlightening degrees that the prophet has brought to us. So we definitely have magnanimous tasks before us, but it's not like this has not been done. You know, this is why he encourages us to go back to our ancestors' state of mind. So we are just so blessed to have these lessons, these keys, and also the fact that the prophet left his footsteps clearly cut, because we're not here trying to complicate the simple, but we're here to demonstrate what the prophet has left to us, and recognizing the necessity to teach our people their nationality and divine creed. So having this wand of truth gives us the responsibility that we want for our brothers and sisters, what we want for ourselves. So gratitude more for calling me forth, a grand class, and much peace and love to all of my boys.
Islam. And gratitude, Grand National Secretary of State, for that drawing. Praise be to the great God, Allah, for the measure you brought forth from the treasures. Speaking of the measures from the treasure, let us call forth our Grand National Chairman, Dr. Akanak and Pert M. Heru, Tutankhamun Bay. Islam. You there, Grand Man?
As close as a start.
Oh, man, I know that was the prophet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I know he brought that one.
All right. It's an honor and a blessing. Let me rise and give praises to Allah and honor to the Prophet Noble Ali. I send much, much honor to the Prophet for bringing us the truth with this wand, this wand of truth, okay? And it's just an honor and a blessing, right, to be able to be at this new era of time right now, because we have a mission to do. We got a job to do. And this is us being a pure and clean nation. We've been through all that old slave situation. We've been through everything. But now, what do we have? We got everything now that it takes to save a nation. We got our own government, our own divine constitution, our own prayer, a God, history, forefathers, everything. It's just an honor and a blessing to be here in this new era of time now. And so it's an honor and a blessing more. And I want to thank everyone for their participation in tonight's mighty, mighty mission. And, you know, a lot of this comes out of, our Quran chapter 5, right there at the very beginning. So it's such a wonder for dealing with the life works of Yehoshua at a home of, at the age of 7. So I guess it ain't strange. The 7 is everywhere. So the honor, bless the Lord. Thank you. Islam is without a schism.
And gratitude and thank you, Chairman, for the exhuming of a nation. Goodness gracious, the greatest study guide to ever be written. So, ooh-wee. But let us call forth our National Grand Sheik, Dr. Serapis Amun Rael. Are you there, Grand Sheik?
It's on, Brother Grand Sheik. If you're speaking, we can't hear you more. It's on, Brother Grand Sheik. You may have to go out and come back in. All right, the Grand Sheik just left the call, so he'll give him a minute. Gratitude.
Islam. Gratitude. Well, we know our Sheik, most definitely, he got a grand drawing to bring us. And I tell you, family, these apparatuses Rome got going on, they something else. It seemed like when they went to messing with them, they got worse. I remember one time it seemed like they were working real good, before they started going to mess with the 10G and the 7G and the 8G and all other type of Gs. But God. But yeah, I ain't never seen nobody regress, deal with some retrogression, so to speak, instead of some progress when it comes to dealing with technology in my life. But we gonna get it together though, because we gonna raise up some more technicians. Islam. Sheik done showed back up yet.
Islam.
There you go. Islam, grand man, you got the flow. Islam.
Yeah. I want some of that. And why the truth, the manifest, giving a lot of praise, adoration, thanksgiving, glory to all the hells and babes and their story prophets laid on them. Give one in this light, this marvelous light. We give honors to you, Sister Grand Sheik, for why the truth that you bring and set the souls and hearts on our people with fire, love, and holy zeal. This demonstration of why the truth is the only thing that the more had need of to wake up the multitude that are along the way, seeking whom they may define and the desire of being Lord recognized by themselves as being true men and women of a nation of gods and goddesses, raised from one to the fourth end of this life. Why the truth gives one ability to tell the truth without worry or disappointment. One demonstrating truth regardless of the ills and the multitude of things that one may run into along the way. One has been addition to bring forth the wine of truth through the grace of Allah. So we are definitely appreciative of you, Grand Sheik, for setting out that and measure, and all those who accepted and rotated along the way with you, we truly give everyone's honors too. Praise Allah and long live Morris America. January 15, 1929, warning from the prophet, read in all meetings. Everybody inform all citizens that must end all radical agitated speeches while at work in their homes off the streets. Done for peace and not destruction. Stop blasting your cars to Europeans. Cause confusion. Remember your cars for your salvation. Pay to baby daughters to be a severe consequence. We have to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when each principle is violated, justice then must take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government or the prophet or violate the divine covenant and the Moorish movement, they receive their rewards from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid out in them by the prophet. They lose confidence in their prophet. Should turn in their garden button is when the government feds return to the state where the prophet found you. This is a holy divine movement, founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. Prophet therefore is saying out that the divine plea to all Moors humanity to do their part to get the prophet and the government. This is a holy divine movement, founded by the prophet who willingly lied to redeem people from their sinful ways by all the prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's divine warning, which is supreme laws now, and will be enforced by the said government hereby. Islam, Islam, Islam. You are the children of one prophet, the battle for thy skin, and the rest of one mother has given you son. Let the bond of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers. Let peace and happiness dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate the world, remember the relation that binds you to love and unity, and burn down a stranger for thy own blood. Thy brothers in virtue, assist them. If our sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. Meaning the fifth close going to act to for the dying God and love to peace, peace for justice. Go in peace, more, much love to you. Long live, more spirit.
Man, brother-in-law from New York.
Great class, Dr. Shaheed. Gratitude.
Great class, National Sister. Dr. Shaheed, great class.
Love you.
Don't be going down to them
No
courthouses.
longer being recorded.
We ain't got no business in them courthouses, filing no records or anything. You're in your own government.
Right.
You don't need that.
All government. Praise
This
Allah
is the
for you.
most American government, most powerful government in the world. Peace and love.
That's right. Most powerful government in the world. Democratic government. We're following Allah and Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Black class, Papa class.
Grand class.
To Christian National Branch Speak.
Prophet
Love,
Allah.
love.
I am
Islam.
doing it. Praise Allah. Peace and love.
Islam.
We are
Moors.
a clean and peace. Yes, we are. Prophet said we're a clean nation of people. Praise Allah. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Setting the record straight. Go ahead,
Praise
Dr.
Allah.
Shaheed.
Islam. And praise be to Allah. And I was just getting ready to say, I give honors to all of our family, you know, that checked in, the brother that came on the panel. We give honors to all of our Moorish kin out there in social media. You know, brother Charles Royale, Noble Brian, always showing up, Barn Dog, Cypher EL17, all of you family, you know, Tyrese Turner, Tyrese Bay, and Jehudi Bay. We love all of y'all. And we'll see you in the next session. All are welcome. So make sure you come back and rotate. Islam, peace, love, and law at all costs. We love you, and we'll see you in Sunday school tomorrow and our ears class. Can't wait for that one. Good night, Moors.
Good
Good
night.
night. We love you. This is the time.
Goodbye.